We could put a small amount in here. Maybe several, at least $5,000. I'd say $5,000 to $10,000. We want to make it a nice, good. To do this properly, we'd have to mill down rather than just a standard 2 inches. We'd want to mill 4 and do step joints so that we don't get the depression that we've seen. So you're looking at 4 inches of asphalt over probably probably at least 80 to 100 square meters. So it'll be quite expensive. So, but we will gain an economy of scale by tying it in with a road reconstruction project in the area.
So we should ask for a report back on the cost.
I think the council may wish to direct that I bring back a report on what an expected cost would be.
Yes, I will make that motion. Council direct our Director of Community Services to return to us with a report outlining what the cost will be for patching that area of Main Street.
A diagonal patch.
Could I just add a friendly amendment? I look to see the viability of it too. I mean, if it's 6 months fixed, then you don't want to throw good money after that.
Indeed.
Let's talk about getting us through to the next step, which is the 2015 window.
Yes, the reconstruction. Indeed.
Okay, seconder for that motion, Councillor Scott. All in favor of that? Carried. Thanks.
So now, Mr. Mayor, I'll introduce my motion on the council chambers, which is report 5.
Move to reorder the agenda to bring report 17, read the council chambers forward for this time. Seconded, Councillor Scott. Questions on that? All in favor of that? Opposed? Carried. 8.5, page 85 of the agenda. Get there? Councillor Bonds.
Yeah, I think it's a great report. I just want to make it very clear, and again, I will personally, not on behalf of I will personally apologize for any upset this has caused to people. Again, another lesson in communications and rumor mongering, and the old rumor mill is certainly alive and well in Lambton Shores. I can tell you that, it works overtime. But my concern on this report is, after having had the delegation tonight, I'm going to move that we, if you still have faith in the clerk and I, that we look at the Legacy Center and come up with some suggestions for holding council meetings in the Legacy Center as an alternative to here, and we'll get on that ASAP.
Okay.
That's my motion.
Motion is that we go with the report, and there's one in the report that
Talk
is
about the Legacy.
about the Legacy Center. Councillor Underwood.
Is there any, through you to community service, any logistical reason why we can't do this? Timings, other groups that are in there, sound systems, coffee supply, I don't know.
So we're bringing the motion is for a report on moving to the Legacy Center. And the motion includes that Councillor Bonstein work with the church, with the clerk.
The church. I need the church. I might as well continue to take it.
So it's been seconded. Councillor Underwood seconded that. So the report states that the council may move to the new location, the Legacy Center, either on a temporary or permanent basis. So we say that this is there'll be a report. The report will look through these and see how it's going to work.
Right.
Deputy Mayor Dag.
Yeah, I would just make one point with regards to Thomas Hall. I would not recommend that if the Legacy, Thomas Hall is the object of your attention, that we deal with the sound issues in it first before, because there are certain issues.
These can come with us.
We'll be like a parachute. We'll keep an open mind. I would have suggested we do the meeting at Center Ice, but that would mean that half the arena couldn't see us because of the. Anyway, so we'll keep an open mind. We'll come up with scenarios.
Okay, very good.
We use a scoreboard?
I thought you always did.
All right. All in favor of the motion? Carried.
There you go.
We'll go back to the, sounds like there's gonna be some people leaving, so we'll take a little break for a minute, I guess. And we'll go back to the regular agenda. 7.1 is on page 63. Piece of correspondence from Mr. Speak. How does council want to deal with that? Page 64 was the reply that the mayor provided. The first letter that came was addressed to the mayor. So I replied to the letter with that reply and copied council on that. We've got a subsequent letter from Mr. Speak asking that it be added to the agenda, and it was addressed to the clerk and council. Councillor Cook?
Receive and file.
Seconder? No seconder for that? Okay, seeing no seconder, further motion? Councillor Vance?
I'm not sure to move this. I guess one thing I didn't see in your response is his last question about, is this a breach of the code? So
That's up to council to decide, I guess. He's asking if I have breached the code of conduct, and I guess if council feels that I have.
I'm not sure, maybe, Mr. Speaker, is here maybe at the end of the meeting, ask him? I'm not sure what to do with it, because if he doesn't feel the answers have been forthcoming, then he is entitled to pursue it. So
Well, he has asked, and it's up to council to decide whether they want to take further action on that, or whether my answers that I replied and council all heard, and I never heard anything back from any other member of council, whether I answered adequately or not. So I presume, Councillor Underwood.
Yeah, it's the last bit that's bothering me, but quite honestly, is this considered a formal complaint? It isn't though, right? We have a formal complaints procedure with regards to our code of conduct and all the rest of it. So if the resident feels, or Mr. Speak feels that it is that, if he really believes that there has been a breach to the code of conduct, then I think there should be a formal request that way, right? Otherwise, I think you answered the other question. It's the last bit, that when we start talking about it is apparent, you have breached your commitment to me. Should I consider this a breach of the Lampson Shores Code of Conduct as well? It's a question. I don't think you made a breach of the Code of Conduct because there wasn't anything pecuniary or a conflict of interest. There wasn't any influence pandering. There wasn't any corruption involved.
hold on, point of order, Mr. Mayor. I don't think we can judge it.
No?
No, I don't think you can judge it. Now you're having a hearing. But I do agree with your line of thinking. I think what you do is you respond to this and say, I've given you the response. If you are not happy with this, I refer you to the code of conduct, and it's up to you to decide how you wish to proceed.
I would ask council how they want to respond to the letter.
I'll make that motion that you respond by saying that I have given you a response, and if you're not satisfied with that and you do feel it's a breach of the code of conduct, then I encourage you to proceed.
I sent him it's up to council. I don't believe I have breached the code of conduct. I had sent him a letter that was sent in December of 2011 stating that hope that he would ensure that he was part of the process and on the pre-qualified list. And we had a change of Director of Community Services, and the message didn't get relayed, or I didn't relay the message, and I apologize for that. So if there's something else that I can do, I would do that. I have no intent to disqualify or to anyone from meeting the requirements. And I have suggested to him that he get on the list of pre-qualified suppliers. So if council wants to...
well, let's go back to the point where we're having a hearing. You don't have to defend yourself.
I don't have to defend myself.
There's no charge. There's no charge. There's no complaint laid. If the gentleman wishes to...
What is your point of order?
Well, my point of order is that we're having a hearing on a code of conduct charge that hasn't been laid. So I've made the motion. I suggest that you respond by saying, I have given you an answer. If you don't feel